Madam Arcadi.
How nice to have you come all this way.
My dear Madam Arcadi.
I'm afraid I'm rather late. I had a sudden presentiment that I was going to have a puncture, so I went back to fetch my pump, and then of course I didn't have a puncture at all.
Perhaps you will on the way home.
Dr. Bradley, man with the gentle hands.
I'm delighted to see you looking so well. This is my wife.
We are old friends. We meet coming out of shops.
Would you like a cocktail?
If it's a dry martini, yes. If it's a concoction, no. Experience has taught me to be very wary of concoctions.
It's a dry martini.
How delicious. Thank you. Cheers. It was wonderful cycling through the woods this evening. I was deafened with bird song.
It's been lovely all day.
But the evening's the time, mark my words.
I must say, I find bicycling quite exhausting. Don't you find it awfully tiring?
On the contrary, it stimulates me.
Well, I find it quite exhausting.
Steady rhythm, that's what counts. Once you get the knack of it, you need never look back. On you get and away you go.
Oh, but the hills, Madam Arcadi. Pushing up those awful hills.
Just knack again. Down with your head, up with your heart, and you're over the top like a flash and skimming down the other side like a dragonfly. It's the best martini I've had for years.
Do you have another?
Certainly. You're a very clever man. Anybody can write books, but it takes an artist to make a dry martini that's dry enough.
Are you writing anything these days, Madam Carte?
Every morning, regular as clockwork, 7 till 1.
Is it a novel or a memoir?
It's a children's novel. The hero is a moss beetle. I had to give up my memoir of Princess Pagliatani because she died in April. I talked to her about it the other day, and she implored me to go on with it, but I really hadn't the heart.
You talked to her about it the other day.
Yes, to my control, of course. She sounded very irritable.
It's funny to think of people in the spirit world as being irritable, isn't it? I mean, one can hardly imagine it.
What do elementals do?
Oh, my dear, one can never tell. They're dreadfully unpredictable. Usually they take the form of a very cold wind.
Ooh, I don't think I shall like that.
Occasionally reaching almost hurricane velocity. Mrs. Condamine, I assure you, I have my own method of dealing with elementals.
I'm so glad.
Now then, are you ready to empty your minds?
Do you mean we're to try to think of nothing?
Absolutely nothing, Dr. Bradley.
I'll do my darndest.
Concentrate on a space or a nondescript color. That's really the best way. Okay, good work. I will now start the music.
Charles, how can you be so idiotic? You'll spoil everything.
I'm sorry, it slipped out.
Do you know anybody who has passed over recently?
Not recently.
Can't you think of anyone? Rack your brains!
It might be old Mrs. Plummet. You know, she died with Monday.
I can't imagine why old Mrs. Plummet would wish to talk to me.
Well, it's worth trying anyhow.
Are you old Mrs. Plummet? There's nobody there at all.
How disappointing. Just as we were getting on so nicely.
Be quiet.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing for it but for me to go into a trance. Excuse me a moment while I start the gramophone again.
Not always. Please, not always.
But why, Charles? Why ever not? Don't be absurd.
I'm afraid I must. It really would be imprudent to change horses in midstream,
Have it your way.
if you know what I mean. Little Tommy Tucker, sing for his supper.
That would be done, monsieur, than have no admirals on it.
Good God!
Keep still, Charles. It's trying to get away. I can't hold it. It's still hard. Oh! There now.
Aren't we to pick it up or leave it where it is? Should we pick it up or leave it where it is?
Leave where it is.
Who said that? Who said that?
Who said what?
Somebody said, leave it where it is.
Nonsense, dear.
I heard it distinctly.
I never heard a
It
sound.
was you, Ruth. You were playing tricks.
I'm doing nothing of the sort. I haven't uttered.
Good evening, Charles.
Ventriloquism, that's what it is. Ventriloquism.
What is the matter with
One
you?
of you must have heard that.
Heard what?
I certainly didn't.
Neither did I. I wish I had. I should love to hear something.
You're acting to try to frighten us.
I'm not. I swear I'm not.
It's difficult to think of what to say after 7 years, but I suppose good evening is as good as anything else.
Who are you?
Oh, Vera, of course. Don't be so silly.
Oh, I can't bear this for another minute. Get up, everybody. The entertainment's over.
The switches on the lights.
Charles, just as we were beginning to enjoy ourselves.
Oh dear! Look at Madame Arcadi.
What are we to do with her?
Madam Carte, bring her round immediately.
She might stay like that for hours.
Wake up, Madam Arcati. Wake up little Tommy Tucker, Madam Arcati. Wake up!
Well, that's that.
Are you all right?
Certainly I am. Never felt better in my life.
You have some more brandy?
So that's that funny smell. I certainly shan't sleep a wink tonight as it is.
I know I shan't.
Well, what happened? Was it satisfactory?
Oh, nothing much happened, Madame Arcati, after you went off.
No ectoplasm? Something happened all right. I can feel it. Any apparitions?
Not a thing.
No ectoplasm?
I don't think so.
Very curious. I feel as though something tremendous has taken place.
Charles pretended he heard a voice in order to frighten us.
It was only a joke.
A very poor one. Well, I think I must be on my way. I have some Ovaltine already in a saucepan at home. It only needs hotting up. I'm fit as a fiddle, always feel capital after a trance. It invigorates me, rejuvenates me. Good night, Mrs. Condamine.
Oh, it was awfully sweet of you to come all this way and take so much trouble.
I'm so sorry so little occurred. It's that cold of Daphne's, I expect. We must try again some other evening.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Good night, Mrs. Bradley.
It was thrilling. It really was.